Good morning, children. Welcome back. Last week we had finished with our 2 chapters for EVS 1. In that we have studied about solar system, rotation and revolution of Earth, sunrise and sunset, day and night concept. Now today we are going to start with a new chapter for EVS 1, that is your chapter number 3, the Earth and its living world. So this is our new chapter, that is the Earth. We are going to study about the Earth and what all living things are present on the Earth. Plants, animals, human beings, these all are living things. So we are going to study about them in this chapter. So let's begin with the chapter. You can see certain questions are there. Before beginning with the chapter, let's answer these questions. Where do you get water from? Yes, you get water from rivers, lakes, ponds, rain, dams, etc. And many more things are there. Where do we lay the foundation of the buildings? That is, you all must be living in a building and you are aware that a building needs a foundation. And this foundation is laid on land. What need do we meet through breathing? You know that every second we are breathing. And in a minute we are breathing so many times. So why this breathing is required? Breathing keeps us alive, and for breathing we require oxygen. That is, we intake oxygen and we give out carbon dioxide. From where does the earth get light and heat? Yes, it gets light and heat from sun. Can you see this picture? On the surface of the earth, we find land in some places and water in others. The earth is surrounded by the atmosphere. That is, an envelope of air is surrounded, and this air helps us to breathe. There are living things on land and in water as well as in the air. That is, living things are present on land, in the water as well as in the air. The sun is the cause of many natural processes on the earth. We know that because of the sunlight we get heat, we get light, whereas this sun's light is cause for many natural processes. Just take the example of your water cycle. You all must be aware that how water cycle takes place. Further, we are going to study that in detail in this chapter only. Even you can take the example of your food. You know that the crops are grown and these crops get food from sunlight. Even water is essential for the growing of the crops. That means sun is an important source of energy and its natural processes are also important on the earth. As we know that the sun is the cause of many natural processes on the earth. So, water, land, and air constitute the envelope of the earth. And so, they are even called as hydrosphere, that is your water, lithosphere, that is your land, and atmosphere, that is your air. So even these terms are called as hydrosphere, lithosphere, atmosphere, water, land, air. So these together, that is hydrosphere, lithosphere and atmosphere together constitutes, these three spheres together constitutes to make biosphere. So the biosphere is spread in all these three spheres, that is water, land and air. Moving on to the next part is the Earth's crust. Now Earth's crust, that is the outermost layer of the planet Earth, and this is hard. Mainly it is made up of rocks and it is composed of great varieties of rocks. That is, big stones are called as rocks. You might have seen small stones when you are walking from the street. And they are what? They are small stones. But these rocks are very huge in size. They are very big. Can you see something in my hand? What comes to your mind that what teacher is holding in her hand? Yes. Now the next topic that we are going to study is about the lithosphere. That is your landforms. And which all topics we are going to see in that? Let's see one by one. Mountains, forests, hillock, plateau, grassland, hills, valley, desert, cliffs, and plains. So these all topics we are going to cover in the lithosphere. Let's see one by one each. My dear children, when you all are traveling through a train, from the window you might have seen many hills are there. While sitting in the window, you will enjoy looking outside, and you might have seen that there are hills. What it means? That on the land surface, even we can see hills are present. We can see hillock. Now, what is hillock and hills? The words are similar to us, but their meaning is different. Hillock is a small hill as compared to the bigger ones. Sometimes you might have seen that soil is present, and on that soil you can see trees are there. And the trees spread its roots in the soil. As much they are keep on growing, that much roots are spread in the soil. So we can even see in our surrounding that there are varieties of trees, and in that trees what they are doing, they are spreading their roots in the soil. Sometimes we even see desert regions, or you might have heard about that. You might have seen on television. Now what are desert regions? Here you will find the presence of sand, and the trees and animals are grown as per the regions. Why? Because here the availability of water is less, or it is not there. So, as per the region, we can see that the trees are grown. So, we can see by the picture, we come to know, yes, it is cactus. So, cactus is grown in the desert region. Moving on to the next part, you can see that here certain places we find big grasses are there. If you go to garden, you can see that there is a grass grown in the garden for sitting purpose, or sometimes you can have a walk on that grass also. So at certain places you can see grass expanses. So they are called as grasslands. On the other hand, even on the land surface, we can see crops are grown. So that is your farming. So these crops are grown for us only, for living beings, living world. That is, we require crops for our survival, the food. And accordingly, these crops also get sunlight, and accordingly they grow. Moving on to the next part, you can see that what it is. Yes, it is a valley. That means two mountains are there. And when these two mountains, they are deep inside, and they are down, you can see that it ends. But it is deep. And so it is called as valleys. At certain places, big mountains are there, and along with these mountains you have sheer cliffs of rocks. That is, rocks are present along the mountains, so they are called as sheer cliffs of rocks. At certain places you are even having big forest. Along with the forest, you will find varieties of trees as well as animals. So, even the land surface also includes forest. Moving on to the next part is your rocks split apart by the tree roots. Big rocks are present, and in these rocks you can see that the trees are grown. And what they do, sometimes they split, they break the rock into two pieces. So what we can see that these rocks are split into two, and sometimes you can see that the trees are grown and the trees spread its roots inside the soil. So we have seen different land forms. All these land features are a part of the Earth's lithosphere. The land is not even in all places. The unevenness gives different shapes to the land in different places, and that is why they are called as landforms. You can see in your textbook on page number 12, there are various landforms shown along with different water bodies. Much of the Earth's surface is occupied by water. Now you can see this picture. In this you can see that the Earth is divided into two parts, but the portion is not equal. That is, the proportion is not equal. Water, how much it is? It is 2/3, and land, it is 1/3. What we can conclude, that we are having 29% of land surface and 71% of water surface on the earth. That means we are having more water bodies as compared to the land forms. My dear children, you all must be thinking that the circle is not having two equal parts. Why is it so? As discussed previously, we know that the presence of water is more as compared to the land on the Earth's surface. So, about 1/3 of the surface of the Earth consists of land, and a vast continuous stretch of land is called as a continent. It is called as a continent. So, the land on the Earth is divided into different continents. Let's see their name one by one. It's Asia, Europe, Africa, North America, South America, Antarctica, and Australia. Among these, how many continents are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, the Asia is the largest continent. And we are living in which continent? We are living in Asia. That is, we are living in Asia continent. Australia is the smallest continent. 2/3 of the Earth's surface is covered with water, and most of this water is in the form of oceans. Now, what are oceans? Oceans are the huge water bodies, the largest water bodies present on the Earth's surface. You might have seen seas, rivers, lakes, ponds. So these are the smallest water bodies, but oceans are the largest water bodies on the Earth's surface. You might have visited to Mumbai sometime, and even you might have visited to Juhu beach or any other beaches. So, if while playing sometimes the water comes to your mouth, or if you taste that water, it goes to your mouth. So how you feel the taste? Yes, it is salty. That means even the ocean's water is salty. They are not being used for the drinking purpose. And remember children, our earth is mostly occupied by the oceans. That is, the more amount of oceans, the water content is present in the form of oceans on the earth's surface. And which all oceans are there? Let's see. The Atlantic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, the Arctic Ocean, the Southern Ocean, the Indian Ocean. Now among this, the Arctic is the smallest ocean and the Pacific is the largest ocean. Now we have seen continents and we have seen oceans. Now let's see their locations in the world map and how they are occupied on the world map. This is the world map. You can see the locations of the continents and oceans. Let's see one by one. First, let's see the continents. North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, Antarctica. We know that Asia is the largest continent and Australia is the smallest continent. Now let's see the oceans. Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, Southern Ocean, Arctic Ocean. Which is the largest ocean? Yes, it's Pacific Ocean. And the smallest one? Yes, it's Arctic Ocean. Now you can see in this world map that everywhere there is a blue. That what it tells us? Yes, it tells us about the presence of water on the Earth's surface. As discussed previously, we know that 71% is occupied by water and 29% is occupied by the land surface. So completely the Earth was present in water, and slowly and gradually these land surfaces were formed. And you can see that there are small land surfaces, but they are present in the water bodies. So what they are? They are the islands. So these are the islands that are present. Now islands are what? Along with the land surface, they are surrounded by the water bodies. So here we end up with our video. Today we have studied about different landforms and they are even called as lithosphere. I hope you have understood what I have taught you in this video. We'll meet in the next video with some more topics in this lesson. Till then, take care. Bye-bye. Have a good day.